Hello, Marcus here.
I'm Ninja.
Yes, and this is the Empty Hallway podcast, brought to you by the band Empty Hallway. We are down a member right now, but they didn't want to participate, so it's just us two.
Yeah. So, as Marcus said, this is the first one.
This is the pilot.
We're kind of gonna. So we have some questions that I came up with that I wrote down, and what I think we'll do is I guess in this one, we'll just answer them and see how it goes for future times.
Yeah. I guess this is just meant to guide us all of these questions. All right. So.
Yeah.
So do you want to do it by the questions, or do you just want to do it by the rough outline?
Probably by questions.
All right. Well, let's properly introduce ourselves. So, we kind of did, but
Yeah.
let's follow the questions. All right. Do you want to ask questions? Then I'll ask you the same thing.
All right. So I guess the first question is, what was your first instrument and how long did you play?
I've been playing since 2017, and my first guitar, that was my first instrument, was a guitar, and it was a 1994 PV Predator. I actually still have it. I actually still have the PV Predator, and for a while it was in a state of disrepair, like it just couldn't be played, and then I fixed it up and it's looking real nice now. And it's actually featured as the center track for the rhythm guitar on Egotism.
Sorry, say again. What center track for what track?
The center track for the rhythm guitar on Egotism. Sorry, I was looking at the instrument as I was talking.
All right, it's okay. All right, so that's cool. So, my first instrument was actually piano. I started in 2009 and I stopped in 2016. And a couple of years later, I picked up guitar for the first time in 2019. So, yeah.
Well,
Right.
Judging by what I've heard you play, you've definitely advanced pretty far.
All right, thanks. I'm flattered, but yeah. Anyway.
I've got another friend who started playing around the same time. I've also made music with him, and he is also a shredder. He did nothing but practice for a very long time. Y'all are about on the same level, and he's a very good player. So take that as a compliment.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, thanks. All right, the next one. What other instruments do you play? What is your experience with playing them?
All right, so I just recently started playing bass. I knew how to play bass, but now I actually play bass. I'm playing it in my school band, and electric bass guitar. And
Nice.
it's fun. It's a fun instrument. In terms of individual instruments I also have a Squier Affinity Jazzmaster HH and a Jackson JS22 Monarch that's been modded to absolute hell.
Oh, okay.
And yeah. I don't own a bass. I was playing the one the school gave me, and I kinda can find my way around a piano. I can play the intro to Welcome to the Black Parade, and I can play the intro to Cold as Ice by Foreigner, and I can play Harvester of Sorrow on the piano for some reason.
Oh, okay. I'd like to hear that sometime.
Yeah, it's not that hard.
Yeah. So for me, so besides piano and guitar, my first guitar was a black Jackson archtop, and since then I got another Jackson archtop, but a 7-string, and I started playing bass in late 2019. My first one, the one I have, is an Ibanez. I'm not sure the exact model, but I also played saxophone for 1 year in early elementary school as part of the school band, and I never went back to it after leaving the school band.
Okay.
But yeah.
I think I have an idea. Since we're posting this on YouTube, we could show pictures of our instruments and stuff, or pictures of the DAW, when we're talking about parts of the DAW or parts of the project, or if we're talking about an instrument, we'll show a picture of the instrument. I can provide my instrument, of course.
All right, we can do that. Yeah.
That seems like a good
Obviously,
idea.
I can't do all of them because I don't have the 7 string with me right now, but like in the dorm.
Yeah,
But yeah.
yeah.
All right. Anyway, next question: what are our current primary musical influences?
You
So
want
I
me to
guess
go?
I can go first this time if you want.
You can go.
All right. So right now, my primary influences are bands like Megadeth, Dream Theater, Creator, Destruction, Slayer, kind of those kinds of, like with the exception of Dream Theater and Megadeth, kind of the more extreme forms of thrash metal, as opposed to like the more, I guess, basic stuff.
Okay.
But yeah,
Um, my current influences are more vocal influences. I think my guitar playing influences have been stayed pretty consistent since I started, mainly because I don't learn many songs. I just kind of like wing it. But like current musical influences, I would say like Chris Cornell, Eddie Vedder, Scott Weiland, like
yeah,
those huge vocalists of that day, like just really impressive, really inspiring. I would say like did like I can't name specific artists. It's more like styles I'm trying to emulate for guitar. So like you get what I mean, right? Like I
yeah. I
kind
get
of
what
like
you mean. Kind of like
style
the grungy style,
the
that
grungy
kind of thing.
style and like the
Yeah,
more and like the metal style, so like thrash and like pseudo metalcore, not really metalcore.
yeah. All right, that's cool. All right. Next one. What were our primary influences when we first started playing?
For me, I'll just say the ones that are still here because most of them are the same. But Metallica, Nirvana, and Green Day. Those are the three big ones, and you can really hear it in my music. It's those three artists, like, and
Yeah,
maybe some like Black Sabbath and a few odds and ends bands there. But I'd say yeah, those four bands are the biggest influences on me, guitar playing wise, and then singing wise. Like early on, I was trying to do like this Kurt Cobain scream thing, and like I didn't do it that well. And I mean, like we're releasing a single soon called Night, where I do that type of scream. But I that was the that at my one point that was part of my style, like just kind of like all let loose scream, and that was like my main vocal influence. But as I've gotten a better like singer, I've relied more on my mixed voice and stuff. So hence the stuff like Chris Cornell, Eddie Vedder, Scott Weiland, Lane Staley.
yeah. All right, see, that's cool. For me, when I first started, I was super into Dream Theater, still am, and Rush as well. So I used to be like, I still love prog, like progressive rock, progressive metal, but I used to really be obsessed with it when I first started, and
Mm-hmm.
it really kind of influenced my composition, especially considering back then I had very little technical skill on the guitar. So
Yeah. Well, I think
yeah,
you built technical skill pretty fast. I mean, like I've been playing for what 2 years longer than you, and I can't play half the stuff you play. So like, there's a reason I'm the rhythm player.
yeah. Well, I mean,
But
I'm completely disabled when it comes to like vocal ability and singing and kind of the more, I guess, a more non-progressive or non-extreme form of songwriting. So
yeah,
yeah, I think, yeah, you've definitely improved as well from when we first, I think we first collaborated in 2020.
no, I think it was 2019.
Maybe I don't
No,
remember. It was
no,
definitely like a,
the first collaboration we did was when I forked one of your Metallica covers. No, it was
oh
your
yeah,
Diamond cover,
yeah, it was the Diamond Head one. Yeah,
and that's when I couldn't sing whatsoever, but I was just doing it for fun.
yeah, it was good back then, but you've definitely improved a lot now. So
But
yeah.
yeah, is the mic is the mic too far away?
Um, it wasn't right now. It might be just a little bit. Like it's still
Okay.
like I can still hear you pretty clearly and understand, but maybe a little closer would be better. But
All right. Yeah. So a
yeah,
little recap on the musical influences: Nirvana, Metallica, Green Day. Those are the big three. add in a little Black Sabbath, and that's most of my guitar playing. And then singing, you have all the grunge people, and you have like a few of the metal singers as well. So
Yeah,
like popular ones like James Hetfield,
yeah, that's cool.
maybe like Ozzy. Ozzy's fun.
Yeah, Ozzy Osbourne. Yeah. All right. Anyway, next one. What are our? I guess we're gonna talk about one of them later. But what are our current musical projects? So I guess
Current,
obviously there's empty. There obviously there's empty hallway, but like, what else are we doing?
yeah, I mean like we're working on more stuff for Empty Hallway, but you want to talk about lead medicine? I feel like, or should
Yeah,
we
we.
talk
Can, I
about?
mean, yeah, we should. I mean, at some point, we're gonna get something out for lead medicine. We don't obviously we don't know exactly when yet, but
Yeah, so
yeah,
a project we're working on is lead medicine, and is the same exact members as Empty Hallway. So me, Ninja, and Hetfil, like it's all the same members, but instead we're
yeah,
playing like metal
yeah.
and
Like kind of like we're doing. I guess we're doing like a mix of kind of classic thrash metal with like kind of old school heavy metal as well, as opposed to kind of the
yeah,
more extreme subgenres.
and I mean like more accessible death metal, like early death metal, maybe not
Yeah.
dream death metal, but like the more accessible type.
Hmm. Yeah.
But
Anyway, I get you have your own solo stuff as well, right? So
yeah, I do have solo stuff. I mean like I'm just not currently working on it. Like we can go back to that at the question though.
yeah. So for me, obviously, I'm part of Empty Hallway. I'm part of the upcoming Lead Medicine, which will release soon. But mostly, I have like my own solo stuff, like under the same name, like 71011 Ninja. But I haven't done anything with that lately since my main solo project now is Decimate Our Kind, which is like my sort of extreme metal sort of project. And yeah, I have 4 albums out right now. Some of them are way better than others, but
Yeah.
looking back, but I'm proud of it.
Well, I mean, like being able to release that much music consistently is something to be proud of. Definitely, and especially
Yeah,
the volume of work that you write.
yeah, I guess that's true. I guess I see what you mean, like because I can't like stop writing, you know. Yeah, I
Yeah, yeah.
appreciate that. Thank you. But
Um,
yeah,
Current musical projects. I mean, like one more thing on Lead Medicine, we're actually like working on a cover of "Jump into Fire" right now,
yes,
and that will be the first thing to release. But after that, there's going to be an EP where I'm playing rhythm guitar, and it's all going to be a half step down, and it's going to be my songs, and then later on it's going to be Ninja's songs. But that is right now in the concept and demo stages. We haven't started working on it yet, but well, technically, but you know what I mean. And
yeah,
that should be the next thing to come out afterwards.
yeah. I guess we can mention this now, but we're also planning on covering a song from the other 3 '80s Metallica albums, in addition to Jump in the Fire. Once we're done with that,
Yeah. Although for Master of Puppets, I want to do like kind of I want to play guitar and I want to do my own version of of Welcome Home Sanitarium, where it doesn't sound like Welcome Home Sanitarium. It sounds like a 90s hardcore song.
oh, okay, that would be interesting.
Yeah, I have a
Yeah,
demo of it somewhere, and you might have heard it, but
yeah,
like we can mess with the styles a bit. You know what I mean? Like to just
yeah. I mean, we're already changing a couple of things for Jump in the Fire, so
yeah,
I think,
yeah.
yeah. I guess I can say right now, I was personally thinking when it's time to do "And Justice for All," I'd probably do Blackened.
I can't
Either.
sing black. I'm sorry. I will
All right,
blow up my voice. Like
all right. How unless we what?
unless we change it a lot, I will blow up my voice doing black. And like
Yeah.
that part of my screaming range is just like a cheese grater on my vocal cords. I can't do it.
Hmm. What songs can you do?
I mean, I
I'm just
could
wondering.
sing one, and then there's only one screaming part of that song, so I could probably attain that. But I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah, I was wondering because I was going to suggest Dyer's Eve after Blackened, but
well, I mean,
like if
Dire
you think,
Eve is cool, but again, it's one of those songs. Like,
yeah,
it would be cool if we like put a more classic heavy metal spin on something from Justice.
That would be interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, just toy with some stuff. But anyway,
Yeah.
back to the questions at hand. We've stayed too long on this one, so let's move on.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So I believe the next one is what do we do outside of music? Like what are our other hobbies and stuff?
Well, for me, it's YouTube and school, basically. Like, I'm still in school. This is my senior year. And YouTube, like, I make memes, I make skits, I make gaming videos with like edits and stuff. And I also do the music YouTube, so that's part of the music thing, but you know what I mean? I've been doing social media for a long time, and like
Yeah.
say I'm experienced with it, and that's one of my main hobbies. Another hobby is like gaming, but that ties in back to the YouTube thing.
Yeah. All right.
Um,
That's cool. Yeah. Go check out Marcus's YouTube channel. He's got some great stuff on there.
I've actually got two. One's the gaming and meme one, and then the other one is the music one.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So for me, other outside of music, I really enjoy like writing and stuff. Like I've
Oh,
been
I forgot to mention that I do creative writing too, like
Oh,
poetry, story writing,
oh, nice. Yeah,
short stories. I was writing a book at one point, but I couldn't figure out how to finish it. So,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I guess for me, yeah, I'm also really like in love with like creative writing. Like I had a couple books in progress, but none of them
Oh,
have been completed. But I'm working on one right now.
oh,
Like
that's
kind of a
awesome.
oh,
If you
nice.
have a new Google Doc, send it to me sometime. I'd love to read it.
All right. Yeah. Once I like, I don't think it's ready to be sent like now because I'm still like very much a work in progress. But I think once I have a couple like good chapters in there, I'll send it probably.
All right, cool.
But yeah, other than that, yeah, like I like writing like stories, poetry, articles, like or essays and stuff like that as well. I'm proud to say I've written for my high school newspaper for all 4 years of my time in high school.
That's cool.
And uh, and another thing, I meant to tell you this, Marcus. I meant to tell you this yesterday, but I forgot to. But I wrote a review on metalarchives.com for the new Megadeth album, and I can proudly say I was one of the first people to write a review for The Sick, the Dying, and the Dead on that website.
I have not listened to it yet. I was gonna listen to it last night, but it just got way too late, and I was like, I need to sleep.
Yeah,
I was staying up like when we were testing this podcast, and also I was doing mix editing for a few songs, and so I was up late.
yeah, yeah. We were talking until like 1:30 in the morning, and then after that, you stayed up for another hour or two.
Well, I mean, I gotta wait for my medicine to kick in, but that's something different.
Yeah.
But
Anyway,
yeah,
yeah, writing and stuff like that. I also much more amateur with this, but I've been enjoying like doing like pixel art lately as well.
pixel
Like
art is cool. I mean,
kind
like
of like abstract
doodle.
pixel art stuff. Like not I'm not like I don't usually like try to recreate something else in pixel art form. I more just come up with my own like things.
Okay, I kind of doodle. Like I've been drawing since I was a little kid, but I don't have a lot of technical skill, so I just make these kind of abstract doodles, and and it's really just the emotion I'm feeling in the moment. And I don't draw anything specific. I let things form,
Yeah, I
which
know what you
kind of
mean. Yeah, that,
which is kind of how I approach lyric writing.
yeah,
I
I can
let
see
it
what
happen.
you mean there. Just kind of like not caring like what you're writing, just kind of letting it happen.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So I guess that's it for introductory questions. I guess we
yeah.
can talk about Empty Hallway itself now for the second half of this first thing here.
Um, okay, yeah. Sure.
All
I've
right.
got a
So,
lot to talk about for the first question. It's kind of funny, and that's kind of why I
all
wanted
right.
Will here because he's like a big part of the formation, but I can fill in for him.
Yeah. All right. So, how did Empty Hallway form, and what was the goal of the project? So, I'm going to let Marcus. I'm going to let you take the wheel here because you and Hetfil are the originals, and I came in a little later.
Well, I mean, we needed a bassist and a lead guitarist, and you were the perfect fit.
Aw. Thanks,
not.
man. But you continue. You guys started this project.
All right, so the story is kind of funny how me and Hetfil met. We met over BandLab, and you know how on BandLab you will get like these spam messages from people like, check out my song I just released.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And he sent me one of those, and I was like, this again. But then I listened, and I was like, ooh, this is good. So I started talking to him, and we just started talking back and forth, and we like talked for like a whole day straight, like just bonding and stuff, and that was really cool. And then I learned a lot about him. We talked about like he's from Indonesia, so we were talking about the differences between Eastern and Western culture, and just a whole bunch of stuff. Our musical influences. We showed each other songs, and eventually he was like, "Hey, do you want to start a band?" And I was like, "Sure." And like he put down a few projects, and I was like, "All right." And that kind of sat for a while because I wasn't really able to work on it much. And then one day I was like cleaning the house for like spring cleaning, and I had an idea for a song, and I recorded it, and I was like, this really needs done. And so I put it into projects, and then I was like, well, if we're gonna record the other songs, we need somebody else to fill in the gaps. You know what I mean? Like it just can't be us, and did he do
Yeah.
bad? And so I was like, I had been collaborating with you for years at that point, like because we only started earlier this year for Empty Hallway, and you worked really well. You're actually a really good fit. There was one other person that I was thinking about bringing in, and that was Alex Von Bass, like for bass, of course.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah.
he's been super busy with life and stuff, and so he was unable to fill the role. And like you were able to fill more than one role, and I trusted you, and you're really good. So that's why I brought you in. And like I know most of this was like a Spark Notes thing of what happened because it went on for a long time, but yeah, initially it was mainly just a bunch of Hetfil's demos, and then I like started including my own things. Then when you got in it, you and Hetfil immediately started working on It's Okay. Like y'all must have been privately DMing because I didn't see any chat between I
Yeah.
didn't see
Actually, it was mostly just the regular empty hallway band chat.
yeah, because I don't
Like,
remember seeing much about It's Okay. It's just y'all instantly started on it. I was like, whoa.
yeah,
And
I
like
think it might have probably been like I guess our chemistry together. I think I just
yeah,
like
y'all's
I was
dude.
invited in and then I listened to It's Okay, like the demo. And I was like, I had my own ideas on how I could kind of spin it to make it my own while retaining the original, like, sort of content. So I just did my own thing and you guys liked it. So, yeah.
Well, I mean the initial goal for Empty Hallway was for just to finish Hetfil's projects, like to bring them to life, because he needed
Yeah.
a bassist and a guitarist, and so that's why he brought me on board. But it has really like gotten so much more than that. I think like we've all brought in songs in projects, and we've all been putting in our own input, and it's really been a collaborative effort that's really good. And
Yeah, that's
think
I really
thank
like that
the
about
band
that.
lab. I got to thank the creators of BandLab because without BandLab, none of this would have been possible. I
Yeah.
would still be stuck making my home demos, and I would have nothing to my name. So that's really awesome.
Yeah, thank you, BandLab. Honestly,
Sponsored, not-
I can't think of any other music creation software that really embraces kind of the collaborative and social aspects of everything.
Yeah,
Like,
BandLab is GOAT on that front.
yeah,
Makes it
it
so.
helps that it's free.
Yeah, it does help.
Yeah.
Uh,
But yeah, I was saying before, I like the collaborative. I noticed a lot of other bands like Megadeth, like it's you can clearly tell one person does way more songwriting and has way more creative control over, the others, but I don't really feel that with Empty Hallway or Lead Medicine. I feel like we all have a good like chemistry and a good way of balancing things out.
yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
I think we should move on to the next question. We've been running up for almost 30 minutes at this point.
Oh, almost 30 minutes. Yeah, we should probably keep going. I guess the next one we could probably rapid fire a bit.
Yeah.
All right. So what was the overall writing and composition like for Charlie Forsaken? So I guess I'll say this. So considering I wrote most of the guitar parts for I think 3 songs, I guess this is just in general how I write, but I like to come up with ideas on the spot, even though there were a couple ideas. Like most of the ideas I just kind of came up on the spot, but there were like some ideas I had kind of in the back of my head for a while, and others were ideas that I recorded and previously used in my solo songs from like 3 years ago that were in a non-rock or metal context. Like, I mean, I'm talking like chord progressions and whatnot. Like, I think
Really cool. That's really cool.
yeah,
I did
thanks.
not know that.
Yeah, I guess I'll say like one of the sections in one of the like chord progressions in Humanity dates back to like before I even started guitar, like early 2018.
I think that explains like the neoclassical influence on that track.
Yeah,
Like I knew it would sound neoclassical before you ever added the lead guitar, because before it was just a punk thing, and I'm like, well, I'm not gonna be able to do vocals for these, but so I just had you lay down a shred track over it, and it worked perfectly because of your progression. And the thing is, your
yeah,
bass was already kind of neoclassical, and I was like, kind of a dueling bass guitar thing. You don't really hear it in the mix, but I had that idea, and I thought that was really cool.
yeah, yeah. All right, thanks. Yeah,
That
yeah.
is,
That was definitely a lot of fun to record that like shred part.
I imagine.
Yeah,
Songwriting. I mean, like, I didn't play as big of a role in songwriting on this album
I mean,
as like
you wrote pretty much all the
I wrote.
lyrics.
Well, no, you helped me with the lyrics for
Oh yeah,
for
Humanity. I wrote most
Human.
of them for that, and I helped with the spoken word part. But everything that was sung was all you. Like Rewind was all you, which I really like what you did with Rewind because that one kind of like I kind of had like a whole melody going with the guitar, and you were able to like perfectly kind of adapt to that with like the
Well,
way you delivered your vocal lines amidst kind of the more proggy influenced like Rewind reminds me a lot of Rush music. So yeah, the
oh,
way you're able to do the vocals just
Rush, but I
wonderful,
anything other than her radio singles.
huh?
I really like Rush, but I've never heard anything other than her radio singles.
Yeah,
That's besides the point. Okay, let's talk about Rewind real quick. How it started is you just had your little classic rock progressions. There was no solo, and then like Hetfil laid down the drums, and I was like, well, I'm gonna scat over this because like I was trying to come up with the melody, so I just scatted, right?
yeah,
Like, and I came up with some cool bluesy sounding stuff. I think like grunge-ish and bluesy, like those like classic type singers, and I just kind of worked through it. Your initial vocal demo, it sucked. And then I kept working on it and kept working on it and took a break and worked on it again. And I got it to where I was happy with it, but some of those lines took so many takes and so many cuts. Like the beginning I had to re-record a few times because the timing was weird. And then the chorus, it's not really a chorus, but the part where I kept changing my resonances, that was on purpose. That wasn't just a natural thing. I was trying to like change my resonances to like create dynamics. Like
yeah.
remember the lyrics. Let me pull up the lyrics to that song.
While you pull it up, I should just say like you're probably. I was going to go on to the third question, but it looks like you're already answering it for us. So
Oh, what was the third?
the third
Oh
one, what
no.
was the recording and production process like?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, like that's a natural move on, but like okay, so like the what I consider the chorus of that song, even though there's no repeating parts really, except for like play it again, um, uh, is well, I don't mind if I die, never gonna get my life, but I've seen it.
Yeah,
I don't mind if I
yeah.
die.
That's the part with like the chromatic like power chord thing. I think there's like a Megadeth song on Euthanasia that I think
Yeah,
it sounds
that
pretty
one
similar
reminded
to.
me of Megadeth, and I was trying to emulate that for that trip part of the thing. But I was like really changing my resonances. I went from like hair metal to like punk to like um Lane Staley, like
Yeah,
yeah. But I
yeah.
mean that I really like that because I kept changing my resonances, and I thought that was a really cool thing. And this is probably the vocals I'm most proud of on this track. But
Good lead into number four.
yes,
Question:
yes.
What part we're
Um,
most proud of?
I would say for you anyway, the part I'm most proud of for you was um was your solo for It's Okay. That is
Oh
a
yeah, that
brilliant,
was a fun one. Yeah.
like, and of course the lead guitar for the entirety of track 3. And I think my idea for making it sound like Clavicus Wild or whatever for track 3 was also a good idea on my part.
Yeah, I
I
like that idea. Yeah. So
couldn't
from
execute perfectly because I wasn't really aware of what I should do with it, but it was good.
yeah, I think it was good. Like obviously I don't have a reference, but I think it was really what you did was really good.
And about
So
overall writing and composition process, how it initially started was Hetfil had a bunch of songs that we were just gonna add to, and then like
yeah,
eventually cut it down to just It's Okay, and then the rest of the songs were your thing. And the process for It's Okay was it. We started writing it as soon as the Ukraine war broke out, and I wrote some lyrics talking about war and the futility of it, and like the point of view of a civilian against a foreign invader.
yeah, yeah. Those
Um,
were really good lyrics. Those are probably to answer the whole proud question. I'd say for you, probably the lyrics to "It's Okay" and the vocal melodies as well. For
yeah,
me, I think that's what
say
I'm
that
most
was,
proud of you for.
I would say that was inspired of like 2000s. Like I don't want to say butt rock, but you know what I mean, like that grunge revival butt rock stuff.
Yeah,
Like Seether, like that song sounds a lot like Seether, especially with the E minor F sharp major chord change.
yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah, for me, in terms of me, for me, like what I'm most proud of for myself in terms of guitar, I'd probably say probably either Rewind or Humanity.
Um, yeah,
Yeah, I think we should continue now. So,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
do you want to talk about like we were originally going to talk about what our like mishaps and struggles we were recording like that we experienced while recording, but I can't really think of any
Well, I
struggle.
can think of a few that were really major. The vocal takes on the album were not meant to be the final vocal takes. My interface broke when I was recording
Oh
that.
yeah, I think I remember that. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
your
and
interface.
the interface just completely like took a crap, and then I couldn't like when I got a new interface I couldn't because I was trading for stuff.
Yeah,
Anyway, sorry, my brother's in the room. Anyway, um uh what am I saying?
you're
The
talking about like the interface.
Yeah, yeah, that broke, and so I had to, like, piece together what I could, like, for the rest of the album, so that's the reason Humanity is spoken word,
Yeah,
and that's the reason why the guitar solo on Rally the Forsaken is so long, is because I was gonna have vocals there, but then my interface broke, and the spoken word parts on that album are actually just me speaking into the, mic on my headset.
yeah. All right, yeah.
Um
I guess for me, I couldn't really think of any problems personally while I was recording, but like obviously Marcus's interface breaking, we had to make some pretty drastic changes.
I remember your speaking of the It's Okay guitar solo, it was you said it was out of tune. I didn't
Oh
really
yeah, now
hear it,
I'm remembering now. Yeah,
and
I forgot about that, but yeah, I
I just
remember like
called
I
it
was
from
playing so much at that time and doing so many bends, and I remember completely now. Like I thought it was out of tune, and I don't know what you did to fix it, but
I'll tell you what I did, it's kinda funny.
all
The way
right.
you put it down as a vocal track,
Ah,
and so I just turned on chromatic auto tune all the way up.
oh, okay. I see now.
And
Yeah.
that fixed the entire problem.
Yeah. All right, that was creative thinking from you.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Should we talk about the final question now?
um,
And
future pro
what are our future projects?
future projects, well, we were saying lead medicine, I might start working on my rap stuff again soon, but that entirely depends. But I think the main ones are just lead medicine, and then the YouTube videos for my YouTube channel, like the gear reviews with the demo tracks and all that, which I will need to work on with the band.
Yeah. Yeah, so for me, apart from all the empty hallway and lead medicine stuff, obviously more Decimate Our Kind, I have a couple albums. I can't do vocals at the moment, like in the current setting I'm in, but I have a couple albums like ready to go otherwise, and I'm working on more. And yeah, also like I said, that book I was working on, and yeah, a couple other things I guess a couple other smaller things as well.
I mean, speaking of future projects, we have like tons of material lined up for both lead medicine and empty hallway, like years worth of
Yeah,
material if we wanted
yeah,
to
we have
work.
a lot of stuff. Like
Yeah, we have like 5 albums worth of stuff coming up.
yeah,
Like,
I can't
so,
even keep track anymore of like what we have in both like the bands in terms of projects.
yeah. So, yeah. Didn't
Yeah,
you say you wanted to start a YouTube channel at some point? We can talk about that
I
afterwards. But
I thought about it, but yeah, we this is probably something we should talk about after because it's still very much like something I'm still thinking about and contemplating. But I think that about does it for the first like episode.
yeah, that about does it. That about does it. So this was nice. We got to talk about stuff. We got to work through stuff. This is awesome. I think that.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. And yeah, thanks for being a part of this. And yeah, I guess hopefully we can do this again soon.
Yeah. Huh.
All right. All right. Bye bye then.